Berdasarkan data yang ada itu kurang lebih 500 perusahaan yang berada di sekitar Citarum itu perusahaan basah.
For me, water check I take, I put in hand. If I don't get itchy, then good.
Bikinnya udah gatal, ada perih.
The smell is unbearable. Check out the color of the water. Have you ever tested the rice before?
Belum pernah.
No?
Belum.
Take the liquid
Okay.
and then
Ah,
analyze.
right.
Yes.
Perfect. Vous avez déjà vu des niveaux aussi élevés dans votre carrière?
Ah, non. Non.
Combien de polluants vous avez trouvé dans les cheveux de ces enfants?
Là, on est monté à plus de 50-54 polluants différents en moyenne.
We have made some water analysis of what it appears to be Unico suppliers. So the original, if you...
the camera turned off.
Our journey begins in the mountains of the island of Java. At the foot of the Wayang volcano, there is a lake. The cradle of the Citarum River. Titi Bakhtiar, a geographer at a university in the region, knows this place well.
Ini namanya situ Cisanti, mata air dari Citarum. Tapi kita berjalan sedikit lagi ada bualan-bualan dari mata air Citarum ini. Bersih sekali di sini. Bagus bisa mencuci muka. Ini lebih dari rumah. Saya merasa nyaman di sini, merasa kerasan tinggal di sini. Biar awet muda. Citarum itu sangat, saya boleh katakan 3 kali lah, sangat penting. Jadi listrik dari Citarum ikut menerangi Jawa dan Bali. Airnya satu untuk minum warga, untuk perikanan, untuk pertanian. Jadi yang di jalur sungai saja yang mengenyam kenikmatan dari air ini, memanfaatkan air ini, lebih dari 3 juta orang. Belum di lingkaran keduanya, lingkaran ketiganya.
The source of the Citarum, an Indonesian wonder. The river meanders through the island of Java for 300 kilometers and flows into the sea east of Jakarta, the country's capital. For the first kilometers, the Citarum is just a stream. It quickly becomes a river, essential for farmers. Then, the river crosses the island's largest cities, but as the kilometers go by, we see something completely different. Mounds of rubbish. The white plastic replaces the blue water. In Indonesia, despite strong growth in consumption, the waste treatment system is still undeveloped. So the river serves as an open rubbish bin, and the fishermen are now fishing bottles.
Belum pernah. Hanya faktor air begini jadi nggak ada ikan.
Rudy is 23 years old He walks along the Citarum for 9 hours every day. He works for a recycling cooperative.
Seperti AG aqua glass, bekas aqua glass. Nyampe 50 kilo lebih.
How much are you paid for this?
Sekitar 90-80.
For 6 years, Rudy has been plunging his hands into the horrors of the river.
Ya seperti bangkai-bangkai yang bau mah. Ya sudah terbiasa kan.
Under this mangrove forest, trapped in the roots, thousands of pieces of debris have accumulated, a little more each day. And a large amount is not collected. Indonesian rivers dump 200,000 tons of plastic into the sea each year. Plastic, visible pollution, shocking. But not the most dangerous. The Citarum and its inhabitants suffer mainly from chemical pollution. To understand what's happening, we go to one of the many villages along the river and its textile factories. Nur has always lived here. Every morning, this 42-year-old woman goes to the well, which is fed by the Citarum.
Dari depan sungai, buat cuci piring sama cuci baju, buat mandi, cuci sayuran, warna air, kadang-kadang hitam, kadang-kadang merah, sekarang lagi bagus, kadang-kadang hitam, sekarang lagi bersih airnya. Kalau bersih mah pakai apa aja di sini bisa, cuci sayuran juga.
Nur lives right by the well, at the heart of this district where 3,000 people live. A quarter of the inhabitants are under 15 years old. They are the most fragile, the ones who seem to suffer the most from pollution, like Nur's 2 children.
Mual, nggak bisa makan, pusing, udah dibawa ke puskesmas, katanya apa itu gejala liver katanya, kuning.
Mual. Yang itu nyeri dada bikin udah gatal. Ada sakit. Perih.
Nur has a doctor's appointment. The clinic is half an hour away by cart. They do this twice a month. Yuda, her eldest son, falls ill as soon as he finishes his medication.
Udah 3 hari. Kalau batuk, kemarin mah itu mual, muntah. Kalau masuk makanan muntah. Kan itu dari tetangga saya juga gitu, gata-gata. Kan mandinya ambil airnya dari kali.
Ada banyak di sini kalau diare. Ya anak-anak. Biasanya kan kalau pakai air minum, ya bisa pengaruh dari air minum gitu. Kalau dari air yang gatal-gatal mah bisa, cuman nggak terlalu ini ya, nggak terlalu jelas gitu.
It's impossible to draw definitive conclusions. There is no epidemiological study, and no proof of the impact of pollution of the Citarum on local populations. One man is fighting to change that. Denny Riswandani. He runs the only environmental association in the region. For 17 years, he has been surveying the Citarum in search of evidence of pollution by the textile industry.
Loh, berdasarkan data yang ada itu kurang lebih 500 perusahaan yang berada di sekitar Citarum itu perusahaan basah dengan potensi menimbulkan bahan berbahaya beracun atau mengeluarkan limbah kimianya ke Citarum itu 280 kubik per hari. Hampir semua industri itu memang berbeda mengeluarkan limbah, tergantung warna yang dia gunakan. Ya. Tergantung juga market yang dia supply untuk keluar itu apa warnanya. Dan ini adalah pembuangan limbah, ini juga dari beberapa industri. Dari beberapa industri, dan ini menjadi, warnanya menjadi red, merah pekat nih. Dan masih panas. Masih panas. Maka tidak salah kalau dunia menyebut Citarum terkotor di dunia. Semua hal-hal yang sifatnya merasa kasihan iba terhadap Citarum tumbuh dalam hati ya. Makanya apa yang saya implementasikan itu keinginan hati ketika melihat fakta di lapangan Citarum ini begitu kotor.
Who are these companies emptying their wastewater into the Citarum? We retrieve the list of textile factories along the river. Here they are on this map.
So all the yellow points here are the factories along the Citarum. I have gathered all the data from the Indonesian governments. 75% of the textile production here is exported mainly to the US and Europe.
One of the largest exporters in the country is the Gistex group. Getting access is difficult, but the company agrees to let us in. 4,500 people work here. Gistex produces mainly polyester fabric, a synthetic material that requires a lot of chemicals.
So it's a bit loud, so we cannot talk.
Mr. Welly runs this factory, one of 3 Gistex sites in Indonesia. The group works mainly with large clothing stores. In these buildings, 1,000 machines operate 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
We put, and then one by one it's pulled down.
The factory produces nearly 3 million meters of fabric a month for the whole world. Each of these machines processes the wires with water filled with chemicals. The wastewater then flows to the settling tanks.
So this is our wastewater treatment. So our wastewater treatment, the size is 50 meter width and 100 meter length. And then the depth is around 6 meters.
How many liters do you use a day?
It's around 200 meter cubic per hour.
Which is more than 3,300 liters per hour.
So what kind of parameters do you analyze in the wastewater?
The pH, the turbidity, the color, suspended solid, and the COD.
Do you look for plumber, cadmium, lead, heavy metals?
Not every day.
Only 5 daily parameters, while international standards provide at least 31.
So this is the water that goes into Citarum.
Yes.
So is it drinkable?
I don't think so.
Yeah. But it's not harmful. It's maybe not drinkable.
Yeah. Still need to be filtered if you want to drink, but I mean, it's okay. You can touch, but for me, visual control is water check, I put in hand. If I don't get itchy, then good.
We are not really convinced by the itchy hand test.
Can we have a look on the pipe?
Quite long.
Okay.
It's going down.
Okay. You don't want to go there.
Maybe here also mosquito, then below more mosquito. Sorry, yeah.
We want to know what the wastewater of this subcontractor of the global textile industry really contains. To find out, we have to follow this discrete white pipeline on the left, which dumps the plant's waste in the Citarum. The overflow channel is hidden under the foliage at the edge of the site. This area is off limits, and to access it, you have to cross the river from the other side.
Il y en a un qui est juste là. Une sortie d'eau de l'usine Gistex qui est juste là.
We are approaching the water pipe. From 30 meters, the water is already covered with a film of white foam. This is what Gistex did not want to show us. We are on the company's property without authorization, so we must be quick. We take 2 liters to analyze.
Forward. Okay.
As we go down the Citarum, the smoke from another factory catches our attention. Lenzing, the world leader in artificial fiber. The company supplies the majority of major clothing brands. Again, huge settling tanks. One of the villagers shows us where to find their overflow channel.
Pipe South Pacific Lenzing. Okay.
Under this concrete casing, the pipe passes through the rice fields.
Ça commence à ressembler à la pollution industrielle. Regarde, il y a des sortes de rejets d'essence à la surface ou d'hydrocarbures. On approche, à mon avis.
And then, on the banks of the Citarum,
It's here. Viens voir, viens voir. Regarde. The smell is really strong.
the smell is suffocating. It is here, 300 meters from the factory, that Lenzing pours its waste, out of sight and close to fields and houses. A yellow and black flow of waste that ends in the river. This time, we have more time, so we directly test the water with our apparatus. An analysis kit for different pollutants that was recommended by a scientist.
Oui, professeur, vous m'entendez?
Oui, j'entends très bien, oui.
Professor Legube is a chemist who specializes in water analysis.
Et vous me conseillez quoi, là, comme analyse primaire?
Les chromes, parce que le chrome, les chromates en particulier, peuvent être utilisés dans l'industrie textile. Et donc, c'est pour ça que je voulais donner comme indicateur. Le chlorure peut être un indicateur de pollution.
Arsenic, nitrates, ammonium.
2, 3, 10 mg par litre de phosphate.
The results only give us a rough assessment of the pollution.
I think we should be more accurate, so I'm going to sample the water and bring it to the laboratory.
Rice fields are only a few meters away. This is the main crop along the Citarum. This is where Kang Yusuf's plot is.
Oh, iya masa. Buruknya tuh kan.
What's wrong with your rice plants?
Air limbah. Akar yang membusuknya dimakan oleh binatang-binatang ini. Sangat banyak sekali tuh. Binatangnya banyak tuh. Yang mengganggu itu kutu-kutunya tuh. Sebelum ada pabrik, ini normalnya bisa mencapai 3 ton. Mungkin kalau sekarang belum tentu. Paling-paling cuman 1 ton 5 kintal. Satu musim. Dan kalau udah ditanami padi, lalu tanam ikan itu bagus. Kalau sekarang ikannya ditanam langsung mati. Kena kulit. Bisa seperti ini tuh. Merah-merah gatal. Sana. Kalau pulang ke rumah mual kalau kena air limbah ini.
Kang Yusuf's plots are literally surrounded by textile factories. The water that irrigates his rice field is purple and frothy. What pollutants are hiding in this rice?
Have you ever tested the rice before?
Belum pernah.
No?
Belum.
We take our samples of rice and water to the Institute of Ecology of Padjadjaran University.
Oh, Dr. Sunali.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
Hi.
Good.
Fine, thank you.
Nice to meet you,
Nice to
finally.
meet you, yes.
Okay, that's the laboratory. Okay, I'll follow you. All right.
Professor Sunardi runs the only environmental studies laboratory in the region.
Atomic absorption spectrometry. This is special for heavy metal measurement. This is for mostly chemicals, chemicals parameters.
Can I give you the samples?
You can analyze
okay.
it.
Let me show you this.
Yeah.
All right. Purple color from the rice
Rice
field.
field? Rice field sample. So this is the irrigation water.
Irrigation
yes,
water.
Okay.
Yeah. Take it. This is the rice from this water here. I don't know if there's enough. I was wondering because I know how much liters.
Yeah, at least we need 5 grams.
5 grams.
Yeah,
So I think you got enough.
I think it's more than 5 grams. Yeah, you can analyze.
5 grams. Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
so this is the water from Lenzing as well. From the factory, from the wastewater.
We can measure the heavy metals, mostly the dangerous species, like arsenic and then mercury, also cadmium, lead. The effect of heavy metals, for example, cancer, and even in men productivity or women productivity, something like that.
Okay, reproduction.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah.
I come back in a week.
Yeah, I will report after we
Okay,
get.
well,
Yes. Okay.
I continue. Thank you again,
Thank you.
Doctor.
See you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Close to the factories, while we wait for the test results, we get some of the women and children of the village together.
Thank you. Thank you.
We offer to analyze their hair to better understand which pollutants they are exposed to. A delicate protocol. To advise us, we put Bryce Appenzeller on the line.
Vous m'entendez, professeur?
He is the person to speak to in Europe when it comes to researching pollutants with hair samples. He is head of the Human Biomonitoring Unit at the Luxembourg Health Institute.
Quel est l'intérêt des analyses de cheveux par rapport aux analyses de sang ou d'urine?
Quand on fait une analyse de sang ou d'urine, on a une information sur les quelques heures qui précèdent le prélèvement. Avec les cheveux, c'est différent. La vitesse de croissance, elle est de l'ordre de 1 cm par mois. Donc ça veut dire que comme on a assez facilement des échantillons qui font plus qu'1 cm, on a une information qui couvre une période de plusieurs mois et donc qui est vraiment représentative de l'exposition chronique de l'individu. Ce qu'on retrouve dans les cheveux est passé par l'organisme et par le système sanguin. Il faut savoir que les enfants sont des organismes en développement qui ont un métabolisme qui n'est pas forcément encore mature. Et c'est justement en ce sens-là que les enfants sont des cibles particulières pour tout ce qui va être perturbateur endocrinien.
In total, we take the hair of 10 children from the same neighborhood, aged from 12 months to 14 years.
Adi, Passari. Passari, okay.
We send them straight to Professor Appenzeller in Luxembourg. As we are leaving the village, we receive a phone call from the environmental activists we met on our raft trip.
Hai Martin, saya pikir sebaiknya kamu segera datang ke limbah pembuangan pabrik Pan Asia. Penduduk di sini bilang mereka selalu buang limbahnya di malam hari. Saya tunggu ya.
The factory is located right on the edge of the Citarum.
Okay.
The Pan Asia Group is one of the largest Indonesian subcontractors in the textile industry.
Regarde juste là, t'as Pan Asia. Ici. Et les eaux usées, c'est par là-bas. Viens, fais gaffe à toi. Hi. Terima kasih.
Yeah.
Okay, it's here. Okay. So what is this?
Ya, dari Pan Asia ini. Pan Asia sebelah sana.
Okay.
Ini IPA, penampungan air. Ya, cukup besar dari wilayah daerah sini mah. Ya, kemungkinan dari masyarakat itu komplainnya pas datang air besar banjir itu tiba-tiba di jalanan raya itu sayanya ngebul air celep itu gata-gata jadi agak kotor lah jadi itunya bau sekali.
What is stinky? What is the smell? Quand le villageois qui est là me dit de mettre un masque si je vais très près de l'eau parce que c'est vrai que même d'ici on sent l'odeur. Je dois avouer que c'est assez fort. Okay. This is strong. Okay. Thank you. It's really hot. The smell is unbearable. Check out the color of the water. Look. Okay, and the small one. I'm out of here. Okay. Thank you. Okay, let's go. Terima kasih. Thank you so much. Thank you.
This time, we are not able to give this sample to Dr. Sunardi's laboratory in Indonesia. He will not have time to analyze it. We have to send them to another laboratory in France that specializes in environmental studies. In the meantime, we find the Indonesian biologist, Dr. Sunardi. He has just finished analyzing the first 2 samples of water and rice that we had given to him. He asked us to take him to the rice field where we took the samples. Because he wants to be clear. He can hardly believe what he has found in the rice.
One thing which is strange is the total chromium content in the paddy plants. We found that it's very high, 28.084 milligram per kilogram. We found that lead concentration on the paddy plants is much higher than the recommended standard, the limits. We found 29.03 milligram per kilogram, while the standard only 0.25.
So it's more than 100 times higher.
Yes, sure. Yeah.
Do we know the consequences of lead on human body, especially for children?
Lead is very dangerous. This lead will disturb the nervous system, both central or peripheral system. So if the children exposed to the lead, then they will have intellectual disability, something like that. This is the worst effect of the lead. I believe that the main source of pollution is from the textile industries. If the government put very strict standard, then investor will not come to Indonesia. But you know, if there is no standard for many parameters, then we sacrifice the people.
This rice that grows along the Citarum is sold throughout Indonesia. It is contaminated with lead, 116 times above the Indonesian consumption standard. It reaches such a high level because heavy metals accumulate in the rice fields. This lead pollution seems to agree with Dr. Sunardi's other results, testing wastewater from textile factories. In Gistex overflow channel water, the level of lead is 1.5 times the international tolerated limits for industrial wastewater. For the wastewater of the Lenzing company, it's worse. The lead level is 3.5 times higher. But that's not all. Another parameter attracts our attention: sulfate. Lenzing releases 7,087 milligrams per liter, almost 10 times the global recommendations. High levels of sulfate in water can lead to diarrhea, especially in children. This is one of the main causes of infant mortality in the country. In Indonesia, 147,000 children die each year before the age of 5. Finally, we received the results from the French laboratory for the Pan-Asia factory, where we took the water samples at night. We read these at Denny Riswandani's house, the activist of the Association for the Defense of the Environment. Together, we contact the French chemist who was interpreting the Pan-Asia water analysis, Professor Bernard Legube, the scientist who specializes in water pollution.
D'accord. Bon, qu'est-ce que vous pensez des résultats du coup?
Alors, bon, déjà, l'eau que vous avez analysée, c'est quasiment une eau d'égout, une eau usée, urbaine, compte tenu de la bactériologie, compte tenu de la décès et la demande chimique en oxygène, et puis on a tributylphosphate, c'est pas un produit que j'ai l'habitude de rencontrer, c'est un solvant. Et puis on a un peu de phtalate aussi, qui dépasse quand même les limites tolérées en normes de qualité européenne, également des nonylphénols. On a des concentrations de 70, je crois, microgrammes par litre, c'est-à-dire au-dessus des normes environnementales en vigueur en Europe, notamment. Et les nonylphénols sont des produits qui sont des perturbateurs endocriniens.
Les nonylphénols, les phtalates, c'est pas dû aux activités humaines?
Non, je vous dis, ce sont vraiment des éléments qui rentrent dans l'industrie textile, les produits chimiques.
Vous avez déjà vu des niveaux similaires de nonylphénol dans votre carrière?
Ah non. Non.
On peut l'utiliser pour la culture, ça ou pas?
Non. Pas possible de l'utiliser en irrigation.
Pour se laver, pour nettoyer les aliments?
Non plus. Non plus, elle est vraiment trop septique. C'est une eau en putréfaction.
Sehingga kami minta saran sebaiknya apa yang harus dilakukan.
Denis qui vit ici me demande qu'est-ce qu'ils peuvent faire pour utiliser l'eau quand même, parce qu'ils n'ont pas le choix.
Au minimum de la faire bouillir et de la réoxygéner, la réaérer enfin, une fois qu'elle est refroidie. Et de la décanter, parce qu'il doit y avoir aussi des matières en suspension. Bon, au moins la faire bouillir. Premier conseil, ne pas la boire.
Ya, ini memang suatu keprihatinan bagi saya dan warga Citarum, karena secara akademis warga korban tercemar limbah ini buta sekali dengan parameter pencemaran.
So here's the documents, Denny.
Oke, terima kasih. Dokumen ini akan sangat bermanfaat untuk bahan kami untuk diajukan ke pemerintah, karena selama ini kami tidak tahu kalau memang pencemaran itu sangat berbahaya bagi kehidupan dan ekosistem di sekitar kita. Saya ucapkan terima kasih sekali lagi.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Sam-sam. Thank you.
Denny Riswandani wants to take action tonight, close to his home. The activists of his association have spotted a company's overflow channel in the middle of the city. The site is under surveillance. They have to be quick.
This is wastewater? Okay.
Ini perusahaan Sungai Indah. Yang disebut saluran siluman ting ini. Ini mah bisa mengurangi limbah-limbah yang dibuang ke sungai. Jadi kalau saluran pembuang yang ilegalnya kita tutup, otomatis kan di perusahaan buangnya cuma satu lubang. Kalau saya sebagai masyarakat tidak ada, kalau Ciko sih ada, Bu.
A symbolic victory. According to these activists, 90% of the 500 textile factories along the Citarum do not have a high-performance wastewater treatment system. What major clothing brands do the polluting factories we have spotted supply to? We sift through dozens of clothes. Then, their labels to know which ones work in Indonesia.
Here, look, a vest made in Indonesia. A sweater by H&M made in Indonesia. Made in Indonesia.
We then get the lists of Indonesian subcontractors from these big brands. The factories from which we have taken the wastewater appear on the lists. The company is registered as one of H&M's subcontractors. Pan Asia also works with other brands like Uniqlo. It was in the Pan Asia Group's water that we found high levels of nonylphenol, a powerful hormone disruptor. The Gistex plant and its waste with high lead levels is also subcontracted by the Uniqlo brand. And Lenzing, the plant with record sulfate levels in its wastewater, supplies raw materials to companies like Gap, ASOS, Marks & Spencer, and once again, Uniqlo and H&M. The Swedish giant H&M has an office in Jakarta, the Indonesian capital. They are here on the 21st floor. We have already tried to contact them by email, but without success.
Hello. Hi. Morning. I'm a French reporter. I'm trying to see someone from H&M, and we already get in touch with the headquarters, but we don't have any answer.
Yeah, please wait.
Okay, thank you.
Incredibly, the director of H&M Indonesia agrees to see us.
These are the documents. These are the original.
If the camera turned off.
From then, we film with our mobile phone.
But I assume you're not going to
And I understand the question is on the environment aspects and the water aspects.
Yeah. So we made some water analysis. What we found was, it was a little interesting, especially the alleged pollution of H&M suppliers in Indonesia. And from a sustainable point of view, does that surprise you? Is it something you've seen before?
I would like my sustainability team to look at it since it's more on a technical level that I'm usually looking at.
Okay.
But from a general perspective, what I can just share is that H&M has a commitment on wastewater, and we know the world is not perfect. This is of course not what we would like to see.
And PT South Pacific, what do you think of them? Have you looked at the outfall or?
I haven't been there, so I can't comment. Yeah. No, I cannot answer the questions today in this meeting, but I will go back and look at the report and talk to Stockholm so that you get the reply that we promised you.
Written answers. No interviews.
Yes. Thank you, bye.
3 weeks after this interview, H&M writes to us. Despite numerous requests, this H&M supplier never authorized us to test its wastewater again. The Japanese brand Uniqlo, also implicated, responds, We could have given many more examples. 252 clothing brands work with Indonesian subcontractors who dump wastewater into the Citarum. The big fashion groups here are all gathered in the same association, AP, the textile industry lobby in Indonesia. A key sector with a 10 billion euro turnover. E.G. Ismi is their representative.
So what do you do concretely for environment?
Yeah, that is for the environment, like the cleaner production, eco-label, eco-production, or the utilization, or the so many.
Respecting environment is good for business.
Yes.
Do you think the water that comes out, that you have the results here, do you think it can be used for drinking, for irrigations?
Yes.
Do you think it can be used? Yeah.
Yeah, it can be used.
We present him our analyses of rice and water, which show the presence of industrial pollutants of textile factories, including hormonal disruptors and neurotoxic or carcinogenic molecules.
Would you drink this water? This comes from Panasia. Outfall. This is one of your members. Would you drink this water? Would you use it for your irrigation?
If I live in there, I use it.
Even if you saw all the pollutants?
We don't have choice.
You said for your country when you
see,
for the environment when you see that.
But we don't have solution. When you talk to the brand name and then cut the order, and the factory is closed. Simple.
So the brands have the real power.
Yes. Take the brand and then company close. Yes. And then finish.
As a father, what does that make you feel to see that children living around factories?
Sometimes like this, if you have so many pollution, I think maybe next 50 years, we are now, what is the X-Men, you know, film X-Men.
Like mutagen.
Mutant, yes.
So, yeah.
Maybe 50 50 years we are no mutant.
A half smile. The spokesman of the textile lobby recognizes the impact of the industry on the health of the residents of the Citarum. And the curtain falls. Before reaching his sinister predictions, could the Indonesian government not take steps to avoid this chemical contamination?
Hello, mister. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Thank you for having us. Thank you for taking some time. Thank you.
At the Ministry of Environment, the person in charge of pollution control agrees to meet us. He reads our analyses, a little surprised.
The lead is right here. It's here, non-phenols. You can see 772. It's a nanogram, but that's the conclusion.
Yes, I think this is good information for us. I think I will ask the director for water pollution control to take sample, and if the sample confirm this number, we will ask the local government to revise the permit, effluent permit. And we also maybe revise the guideline for textile industry. We will revise the parameters, not only for, maybe we include the sulfate, we include the lead, heavy metals, something like that.
Good news for residents of the Citarum. Good news which is quickly overshadowed by the latest results of our investigation, the hair analysis. Professor Appenzeller sends us the report from the Luxembourg Health Institute.
Qu'est-ce que vous avez trouvé d'intéressant dans ces cheveux d'enfants indonésiens?
Beaucoup de choses intéressantes. Là, on est monté à plus de 50-54 polluants différents en moyenne dans les prélèvements de cheveux des enfants d'Indonésie.
54 polluants dans les cheveux de ces enfants. Est-ce que c'est un nombre que vous voyez habituellement ou c'est plutôt la fourchette haute?
54, quand on en recherche 140, c'est quand même assez important. Et ce qui est sûr, c'est que si on recherchait plus de molécules, on trouverait aussi plus de polluants présents dans les échantillons biologiques qu'on analyse. Donc d'une certaine façon, on a un petit peu affaire à la face émergée de l'iceberg.
Qu'est-ce qui vous a surpris dans ces résultats?
Certains polluants comme le PCB 180, qui n'est jamais détecté dans les échantillons des enfants de France. Donc là, il était détecté dans la quasi-totalité des enfants qui étaient analysés au niveau de l'Indonésie.
D'accord. C'est quoi exactement le PCB 180?
C'est typiquement des rejets industriels. Et alors, ils sont classés en termes de toxicité, mutagène, cancérogène, reprotoxique.
Est-ce qu'il y a une autre molécule dont les niveaux vous ont paru intéressants?
Le paranitrophénol, certains enfants qui approchent les 200 picogrammes par milligramme.
D'accord. C'est intéressant parce que le paranitrophénol, c'est un insecticide très utilisé dans l'industrie textile pour protéger le tissu des parasites.
Oui, alors, c'est des neurotoxiques. Ils ont été développés dans ce but-là. Et ce qu'on peut dire, c'est que ça fait partie de la même famille chimique que les gaz de combat. Vous savez, le sarin, le VX, c'est la même famille chimique.
Si je me souviens bien, on en retrouve aussi dans les cheveux des enfants français, alors que le paranitrophénol est interdit dans notre pays. Les vêtements fabriqués en Indonésie pourraient être une source de contamination?
C'est une question que je me suis posée, moi. C'est une question que je me suis posée parce que c'est quelque chose, parce que finalement, des vêtements qui viennent d'Indonésie, il y en a plein. Ça, très souvent, c'est quelque chose qu'on peut même voir sur les étiquettes. Je me demandais dans quelle mesure ça pouvait pas aussi être une source d'exposition pour les enfants dans d'autres régions. Ouais.
Est-ce que vous souhaiteriez qu'on fasse d'autres prélèvements pour que ça ait un peu plus de sens scientifique pour vous?
Oui, quand on voit des résultats comme ça demanderait à avoir plus d'échantillons pour avoir une vision plus représentative de la situation au niveau de l'Indonésie, chez ces enfants en particulier.
À très bientôt.
On se tient au courant, d'accord.
Merci, au revoir.
Au revoir.
We give these results to the mothers of the children we took samples from, like Noor and Yuda and Riva's mother. If the children fall ill again, these tests might help specialists to better diagnose them. In total, we take hair from 45 children living near textile factories. For the first time, Professor Appenzeller will include Indonesia in his new scientific study. At the end of this trip, there is a glimmer of hope. What if it were possible to produce clothing along the Citarum while respecting the environment and the health of the residents? This is the challenge taken on by this large textile factory. It is the only one in the country to have received an international eco-label with very high standards. The boss, Hendra Indrawirawan, has invested more than 1 million euros to produce fabric in a greener and more responsible way.
We have to select the right chemical for the dyeing in order when we dispose the water to the wastewater treatment plant, produce the minimum harmful effect for the environment. For example, previously we used some of the soap for soaping, for washing the yarn, and later on we found out they produce very high chemical, so that, and then we replace it with the new one.
From the outside, the wastewater goes up and down the settling tanks, and also for filtering and reoxygenation. The solid materials are even separated, then recycled. In total, there are 12 treatment stages.
Actually, this water already in the standard of drinking water before and after. This is a small example to show the world that even we still can do the business, and then we still produce the minimum harmful substance for the environment. The green, the making green and the eco-label is quite new, and most of the customer maybe they don't know yet. But I'm sure in the future they'll start looking into this, and hopefully we can get more order from outside.
Because the main parameter is still the price.
Yes, it's still the price.
The fabrics of this factory are 10% more expensive than those of its Indonesian competitors. Is that the price for the Citarum to once again become the most sacred river in the country instead of the most polluted in the world? To meet global demand, textile production in Indonesia is expected to increase by 75% by 2030. Major clothing brands can no longer look away. Too many victims are paying the heavy price.